There we go. There we go. I don't know what I'm doing. I'm just pressing buttons here. What was I going to do? I was going to look at the timers. Yes, so that's correct. That timer is correct. Time to FP3. And then qualifying is going to start at 3 p.m. for us here. So we will go at 2:30. So let me already be very structured here and schedule the qualifying stream. Bear with me. Schedule. Seconds. Oops. Are you? There we go. I'll have to update that. What did I say? 2:30. Okay, that's done. Wow, I'm so organised today. I'm like super organised. Okay, we are good. Welcome Vlatka, welcome everyone. Hope you're doing well. FP3, you can see we've got the timer. This is going to be probably reveal of the ultimate final pace for a lot of these cars. So we'll have to keep an eye on any surprises, any issues. I don't think Lewis Hamilton was too happy yesterday, to be honest. I keep the light off today, keep it nice and chilled out. It feels like it's going to be a hot day. Carlos Sainz, let me check on the news, everyone. What's the news saying? Latest. Sainz and Leclerc saying the upgraded Ferrari felt pretty good. That is good news for Ferrari. Very much good news. 10 minutes to go, everyone.
Manual pit lane. Okay, copy. Remember the pit lane speed limiter. Pit lane speed limiter.
Looks like Leclerc also got the upgrade. I thought only Science had it. Welcome, Chris. But it looks like they both had it, and they were feeling pretty good. Remember, they only really did one quick lap each, and it was quite a quick lap off the bat, wasn't it? What's the weather going to be? Let me do a weather check. Barcelona weather. Oh, it says rain today. It says rain. Well, hang on. On what's that? On weather.com it says rain. On other ones it doesn't say rain. There's a 44% chance of rain at 4 p.m. local time, which is exactly when qualifying starts. So let me have a look at the radar. If you look at the radar, there is definitely rain in the vicinity, like right now. So could be, you know, could be. Andrew says hello from Clay Pigeon Raceway. Wow, you know they call Clay Pigeon the. They call it the Catalunya GP circuit of the Southwest. That's what I've heard. That's what I've heard. Send Daniel out again in this. So we're just going to basically go through to the race. Probably going to get knocked out of queue, whatever it is. Less than 10 minutes to go, everyone. Less than 10 minutes. And yeah, this weekend we'll have done FP1, FP2. Now we're doing FP3. then we'll do qualifying, then we'll do the race. We'll have been all over this. Absolutely all over it. Unbelievable scenes, frankly. Only the most unbelievable scenes on this channel. Good to see you again, Mike, from New Zealand. The fastest man in New Zealand, I've heard, is Mike Morris. Had to be super smooth. Yeah, unfortunately, last time I was at Clay Pigeon, I spent most of my time backwards. Inventing a new layout there, but it was very wet. It can get very wet at the Pigeon, as we know. Welcome to Mimprom, good to see you. Hope you're doing well. Hope you're doing well. Oh, let's send out old Daniel here. Get some of that background noise. I think our disclaimer worked pretty well yesterday. We didn't get a single takedown. Amazing. Phenomenal stuff. It looks very windy at the circuit, by the way. Extremely windy. There's fans with flags there. Can get windy at Catalonia. So it's not, the circuit's not that far off the coast. It's kind of a links circuit, isn't it? CP Clay Pigeon has two weathers, foggy and wet or baking hot. It's latte, so it's a hot day down in Dorset. Very nice. Very nice at Clay Pigeon. Maybe at Clay Pigeon today there's a future Formula 1 driver. It could be the case. Could be the case. I think quite a few of the grid here will have been at Clay Pigeon. I'm sure Lando Norris, Lewis Hamilton, George Russell, Alex Albon, I'm sure they all will have been down to Clay Pigeon. Anyone in chat not know what a Clay Pigeon is? Not a Clay Pigeon, but Clay Pigeon. Welcome Rapid Sloth, sorry I missed you there, good to see you, man. The fastest sloth in the West with us. And there's about 5 minutes to go, everyone, till FP3. The drivers are all in the cars. The steering wheels are being put on. By the way, I'm having a very nice steering wheel sent over. I'm super excited about it. Cannot wait to review it. It's one of those ones where I'm just like, can it come already? Because I just want to like... And when it's out, I'll have to wait to unbox it. Vlatka doesn't know what Clay Pigeon is. Clay Pigeon is one of the fastest... It's maybe... I don't know. Maybe the fastest karting circuit in England. Andrew saying there are pictures of Lando here. It's of course the birthplace of Jenson Button's career. Tick that one off the Clay Pigeon Raceway commentatory facts bingo card. The birthplace of Jenson Button's career. I think he might have been here yesterday, I can't remember. Uncle Jay, thanks for this. I'm on the way to Scotland and can't watch. 350 miles to go. I'll listen to some quali. Greetings from the A75. Hope there's good traffic today. Wow, we've got Andrew in the very south of the country, in Clay Pigeon, and then we've got Uncle Jay, who's on the A75. Wow. And by the way, very cloudy at Catalonia. Very ominously cloudy. Could we have a wet qualifying session, and wouldn't that just mix everything up? Nuno Goncalves says, big hug from Portugal. I'm looking at some radar now, and there is rain 100% on the radar, converging on the track. I think it's impossible for this rain to not hit the track. I think we are looking at a wet session at some point today. Is it going to be this FP3 or is it going to be qualifying? There were some very bright colours on the radar there. And if my Gran Turismo 7 radar knowledge is anything, that means rain. Rob from South... You know what it's about Southampton fans? Southampton? Sunderland fans. Southampton would be a bit of an upgrade, wouldn't it? Welcome, Rob. Welcome, Plant Pot. Might include us for F1 Pot stuff. No worries. That's why we're here. That's what we do in this stream. We can just be collectively clueless. By the way, if you are new here, hit that like button on the way in. Sends a good signal to the algorithm. And it's just good for the stream. When is Quali? Quali is at 3 PM UK time, 4 PM local. So we'll be going live for Quali at 2:30. We'll be streaming Quali live. That is the plan. Let me get this over here. But as you can see, there's only about 4 minutes to go till FP3. And very windy conditions. Crosswinds at Catalina can be a problem. I've actually cycled this circuit in very windy conditions, and it's insane how difficult it can be. Black is lost in the chat. Anyone find Black from the chat? Anyone find Black from the chat? Welcome, Neil. Hope you're doing well. We're here for another live stream. That's what we do. This is what we do at Catalonia. Will we see people go out on a soft today, or will we see a lot of medium pace? So today I think the idea is really keep an eye on sort of the consistent pace. There is big rain in the vicinity. The humidity is 67%, and the helicopter, yeah, there's massive rain around. There's massive rain. It's so, in fact, this is going to be torrential. This is going to be torrential, and it's headed this way. I think it's coming in from basically over the mountains, maybe over the Pyrenees even, and it's sort of sweeping down the east coast of Spain, and it's going to hit the circuit and then probably go off into the sea. But it's going to dump a load on the Circuit de Catalunya here. Mike Morris, just finished my last Nations Cup race. GT7 crashed just after I finished. I'm hoping it took points. We will find out. If it didn't, then that's a hard pill to take, isn't it? 2 minutes to go to FP3, and are we going to see the rain come down? You can see some of the fans actually already putting on... The umbrellas are up. The umbrellas are up. Can we get rain emojis in the chat, please? Get your rain emojis in the chat. Rain, rain, rain. Get your rain emojis. People have the umbrellas up at a certain part of the circuit. Was trying to work out which one it was there. Tell you what, I think we just go straight to the race here. Bear with me, we'll go straight to the race. Rain emojis are out. Yeah, this could change absolutely everything. Everyone's looking at the radar. And it's all converging on the track. It's like a horror show, frankly. It's not good.
Tension continues to build here as
we're going to see all the weather at Catalonia this weekend. Right, now we'll get the race in the background, just solidly.
As the sun continues to shine,
right, we are basically ready for FP3. Let me make sure that we get the timer. Let me stop that one.
Looking at Daniel Ricciardo. They'll be starting
and we'll get the other one out as soon as the cars come out on the grid. Parport, that's not a rain emoji.
They're starting in the bottom half of the grid today, so there's a lot
Lewis Hamilton looks like they want to be early out. The cars will probably want to be early out to get more data before the rain comes. There goes Lewis Hamilton. I'm going to start the timer, everyone. FP3 has officially begun. And we got the background noise. Very, very... Oh, it's all stacked up in the pit lane, by the way. It's all stacked up in the pit lane. It is unbelievable. Matt, does anyone go watch Paul Ricard? No, not really. Not when Catalina GP's on. This is an F1 weekend for me.
Good move, good move.
Wow. Every single car's in the pit lane because they want to get that final data. If they think the race is going to be dry... This might be the last dry running they're able to do. There is rain coming in from basically the last corner of the circuit. Is coming in that way. It's coming in that way. I'm trying to see if I can see any more umbrellas going up. So it looked like there was rain already sporadically at one part of the circuit. But when it comes down, it's going to come down hard. Lightning! Whoa, there is lightning. Big lightning. Yeah, Cass Corby's got it. Big lightning at Catalunya. Drama. I'm going to update the title of the stream. I'm going to have to update it to wet. Hang on. Wet FP3. This rain is going to... I'm going to have to keep you updated. We might see cars off the track. Russell's been on the radio. Is that rain still coming for the start of the session? So everyone is really rushing around just trying to get some data because they probably made some tweaks to the cars based on FP1 and FP2, and they just want to see whether that's working or not. Just get some data, maybe ride height changes. Ocon's on the radio, can't hear what he's saying. Majority of drivers are on the soft tyre here, and it's like a race, frankly. They're all tripping up over each other. Logan Sargent is the first one out. And he looks like he's trying to hit a big lap time here. Big lap time. I wonder what's going to happen with this rain and lightning. What if lightning strikes near the track? Because it was quite close to the track. So I'm not joking here. This is a big weather system that is converging on the track as we speak. And as the drivers sort of go round the penultimate corner where the entry chicane used to be, they will see the lightning. They will see these big clouds. Don't think they'll be worried, but they'll be definitely wanting to try and get some dry weather running in while they can. So it's a very busy session. I think every single car actually is on track. People aren't messing around here. Alex Albon as well is trying to do a quick lap. Andrew says lightning often means they can't run, danger to track workers. Yeah, they are all outside. Unusual to sort of see lightning that close. But like I said, this is a big system. Welcome, Harry. Good to see you. Different rules in Europe to US. We'll see. You'd imagine Europe would have more stringent rules, maybe. Looking at an onboard Perez here. It's very dark. It's actually Max Verstappen. By the way, Sergio Perez doing a 1:13.9. That is the fastest lap of the weekend already. Sergio Perez has gone faster. And Max Verstappen 30.6. Isn't that also the fastest lap of the weekend? So Max Verstappen has just come out. They're very time limited here. He's really pushed it. And he set a 13.6 lap time. Absolutely insane. Absolutely insane from Max Verstappen there. Lewis Hamilton as well with not a bad lap, 14.1. Remember, anyone who's getting in the 13s in practice I think is a good lap. But yeah, Max Verstappen looking absolutely supreme. And eases off after that lap. So just wanted to get a sort of a quali lap in there from Max Verstappen. Flack saying mind-blowing considering it's the same sport. Yes, we will see. And people have got their sort of weather max out in the grandstands. You can see that there's 55 minutes to go in the session. Most of the drivers have been able to get in a quick quali lap. Carlos Sainz and Charles Leclerc are drivers that have not yet. You can see they are at the bottom of your board there, so they haven't been able to set a time.
Looks like there's been a lockup.
Oh no, there's been a terrible lockup. I just wonder if this is going to be a sort of split FP session for the teams. They get their dry running in now, then when the rain comes out, and again there's more people putting up umbrellas. It's quite a controversial thing putting up an umbrella in a grandstand because the people behind you can't see. Abby J saying Hamilton in P3. Yes, Hamilton in P3. They weren't super sure about their car, but they've sorted that in P3. We'll have to see what the Ferraris can do. If they do a quick lap, will they be able to slot in basically under the 1 minute 14 boundary there? See, Carlos Sainz is looking good through sector 1, so keep an eye on Carlos Sainz. Yes, they said Mercedes wouldn't get rid of him. I didn't say they were looking to get rid of him. I said they might be in a transition phase to getting rubbish. Hamilton said drivability is not great, but he has set a good time. Keep an eye on Carlos Sainz here.
Gains for Alfa Romeo.
It's a half-decent sector 1. Half-decent. Remember, there could be different prevailing winds here. You could be getting a nice tailwind down the main straight. That could be a thing at Catalonia. It is possible. Don't count it out. Carlos Sainz on the move. It's a decent Sector 2 as well. In fact, I think it's a very good Sector 2. I might be wrong. I think it's a very good Sector 2. So I'll see what Carlos does in Sector 3 to bring it home. In fact, he's done it, and he's done a 14.2. That's very similar to the lap time that they did yesterday in FP2. But can the Ferraris get, if there's going to be enough dry running, can they get in the 13s? Because I believe only Verstappen and Perez, and I think Alonso got close yesterday, but Verstappen and Perez are the only drivers to get in the 1 minute 13s. Yeah, Alonso now dropping down to P5, but again, I'm interested to see how many people are going to be able to go sub 1 minute 14. That is the big question. Oh, we didn't do a welcome. We should do a welcome one. So now we've got all the ideas. We did it before the quali stream. Pretty much everyone is on the soft tyres. Verstappen, Perez, Hamilton, Sainz, Alonso, Russell, Leclerc, not with a great lap there. Difficult to say how much everyone's pushing. I think that was Charles Leclerc was getting very wide on the entry to the penultimate corner. It's that gravel there. And again, sparking the car. That Ferrari is just sparking so much. We saw Esteban Ocon running wide over the last corner, actually losing a bit of his car. Some carbon fibre going flying. So the cars are really bottoming out there, and it's getting very, very, very overcast. Very overcast. I can't see any meaningful rain on the circuit yet, although Nico Hulkenberg's just been on the radio, said it started to rain. Oh, someone's off! Someone's off here! There's smoke, I can't see, but there's a car that's off. People are running around trying to get a glimpse. What is it? What has gone off here? I cannot see. Oh, there's damage. It's a Williams. It's Logan Sargent. He's hit the barrier. He's hit the barrier big time. Left rear impact. The Williams mechanics look really pissed, because now they've got to fix that before qualifying. Disaster. Looks like the last corner. It's a helicopter view, but to me, it looks like the last corner. Did he have a big snap going into the last corner and sort of have to correct it and end up going off the circuit? Let's have a look. They're going to show us a replay. He's hit the barrier quite hard there on the left-hand side. A lot of damage to that Williams. Front suspension, rear drive shaft as well could be compromised. Gearbox could be compromised. We know Logan Sargent has taken quite a lot of new bits on that car. The battery storage, for example. They're not looking good in that Williams. Lots of smoke. I'm going to have a look here. Goes around into the entry to the penultimate corner. He's soaring at the wheel. Turns in for the last corner. Yeah, exactly as I thought. Had a moment, corrected it, and then just went with the correction, went off the track onto the gravel all the way into the wall. So he had that correction moment. Back end was coming out, correct it, and then off. I think, I don't want to sound too harsh here, I think a better driver would have been able to just maybe drift it around that last corner and not snap it back with the counter steer. So big moment there for Logan Sargent. That's our first casualty. That's going to be yellow flags. Oh, it's actually a red flag situation. They have red flagged the session. Can we get our red flags out, please, chat? Yeah, anything red. I'm going to get the big red hand out for the red flag, because that is going to really annoy a lot of teams here, because they would have been hoping to get some dry running, and now with that red flag, basically the clock still ticks down. It's not like we saw at IndyCar last weekend. Clock is still ticking down, but no one is able to get any data from driving on the track. The helicopter's still up. I'm not sure the helicopter will still be up if it's raining. Welcome, Bill Jones. Good to see you. So we are under red flag conditions at the moment. Logan Sargent off the last corner. A lot of drivers have really struggled there. But that's going to be it for Logan Sargent in this session. Oh, there we go. Harry's got a very nice... Where did you get that one from? Where did you pull that one out, Harry? I quite like that one. That's a nice one. Chris has got, I think, every single red emoji. Black's got some very nice ones. While we're here, by the way, hit that like... If you haven't hit the like button, you're enjoying it, hit that like button. Let's build the momentum of the stream. Trying something new here. Trying something a little bit new. What says good evening from Thailand? Welcome to Rod from Thailand. There was going to be a... Was it going to be a Vietnamese Grand Prix? So quite close to Thailand. Who's the fastest driver from Thailand? Surely it has to be Alex Albon, right? Sky, I've gone to some adverts here, so I can let you know what's going on in the adverts if you want to know. This one is for Dove Men Plus Care. Interesting to see what they think the dynamic is, or the demographic, I should say. Ah, this advert just takes forever. I still don't even know what this advert is. The high five is born. Just goes on for like way too long, frankly. We could be seeing cars on track. We could be seeing replays. Sky. Anyway, we'll chat here. Rod says, Albon, I follow Williams. Rod's a Williams fan. By the way, let's do the roll call. Let's do the roll call. Exclamation mark roll call. Is it going to work? Did we do it? Yes. Let us know in the chat if you're watching, where you're watching from in the world. We are broadcasting here from the UK. So this is a UK broadcasted stream of F1 Manager, and we're also talking about real world events. That's what this stream is about. See Daniel Ricciardo looking quite good there on screen. Unfortunately, didn't really work out for him last season in real life, did it? I think this advert's still going, by the way. I think it might be an advert for Lexus. Hard to tell. Lexus, the birth of the high five. Ari's watching from Helsinki in Finland. We've got Finland in the house. Who's the fastest driver from Finland? That's a tough one. Cass from South England, and Uncle Jay, I was going to say North England, but Scotland, you can't really call Scotland North England, can you? That will start a war. Oh, he's in the A75 has, the traffic has hit on the A75. Keep us updated, Uncle Jay. We're keen to know. Why Ledbetter Rob is watching from Michigan, USA. Kate's in the UK. Vlak is watching from Croatia. So international stream today, very much. For a very much an international sport, isn't it, Formula 1? Is there a more international sport than Formula 1? Football? Bill Jones is watching from Barking. I'm very sorry to hear that, Bill Jones. Danny V. Rensburg. Is that a boxing match or something? Danny V. Rensburg coming soon. He's watching from South Africa. Got South Africa in the chat. Rob's saying we built a wall to keep them out. Uncle Jay's is from Poland but living in England and is currently in Scotland. Kubica best. Welcome, Captain Emerald. Good to see you. Remember, we are still under red flag conditions at the moment in FP3. If you don't know why, let us know. Logan Sargent, not the longest walk back from the pits there. You just go around the outside and then there's a tunnel. There's a tunnel there and the tunnel takes you right to the paddock. So probably the best place to crash. Maybe that's why he did it. Take another look here. The back end comes right in the last corner. He counter steers to catch it. And as he counter steers it, it re-grips at high speed and shoots him off the circuit on the left-hand side. The car is going up on a crane. It's not a Monaco level crane, and frankly I don't think anyone cares about the underside of the Williams. So sad but true. Rain now on the camera lens of the helicopter. Whoa, more lightning. Jesus, there is quite a lot of lightning, right? And a lot of umbrellas are out in the general admission areas, and I think I can even see the rain now on the camera. So, we are in wet conditions. Logan Sargent has brought an abrupt end to the dry conditions, and now we're in the rain. Is it looking like another Red Bull dominant weekend? We don't know, because it is raining. It is raining, and I don't know the last time that we had a wet qualifying in Catalonia. I'm not sure how much data the teams will have, and frankly, I can't think of many more difficult circuits in Catalonia in the rain, because you have these very long sweeping corners where in the dry you really know where the limit of grip is, and you take these very precise lines around it. In the wet, there might be dry lines. You know, this is Catalonia's sort of in a bowl, as you can see on the left-hand side. Should we move that text, by the way, so you can see the... Maybe a little bit like that. Ah, shoot. Move something else. Move it like that. Is that better? It's in the bowl, so it does go up and down. There is some... When you go to the top of the circuit, it's quite a lot higher. Bradley Lord from Mercedes is now on the radio. So they've all seen Christian Horner do his thing for years, and the other teams want in. Worth missing quali to guarantee a race start and possible finish for Logan. What do you mean, Alex, by that? What do you mean? Do you mean that Williams should just like sack off quali? I don't fully understand. But yeah, I don't think anyone can predict what's going to happen now. And is that rain going to hang around till qualifying at 4 PM local? We will see. Lewis Hamilton, I think, with a different helmet today. Bright blue helmet, if that is Lewis Hamilton in the car. Fernando Alonso's in the car. They've all got the screens down. They're looking at the timings. The classic F1 thing. Sit in the car, have the screens in front of you, have a fan, have some cool water, ready to go. Yeah, it's looking like the fans are getting ready for some big old rain here. If you're a Macintosh seller at the circuit, now's your time. Now's your chance. Vlatka's got the rain with lightning emoji, so Vlatka's reporting rain with lightning. We have seen lightning, we have seen... Oh, there's even more lightning. Wow, that one actually looked quite close to the track. There is more lightning coming. I don't know if that is something to do with the red flag. I think in FP they're more likely to red flag stuff anyway than just run under yellow. It's not worth the risk. Of, you know, risk of marshal safety. And Logan Sargent's car has been recovered, and I don't believe we're under red flag conditions anymore, but there is no one else on track, just like the game. Yeah, they're copying the game here. Sometimes they rush cars repairs. Yeah, that's like what you're talking about there is slightly different. What will happen with Charles Leclerc at Monaco is that Charles Leclerc was on pole, but on the last couple of corners he just hit the rear end of the car, and so they decided to stay on pole and keep it in part of Fermi conditions and not inspect the gearbox. And then when he went to drive to the grid, they found out that he had a crack, so they couldn't start him. If you're Logan Sargent, let's be honest, he's very unlikely to be on pole position. Let me know what the odds are. So they would probably just open it up anyway, if that makes sense. So slightly different conditions there for old Logie. Trying to see, I think everyone is still in the pits, and I can't see what tyres are on the cars because they've all got the tyre warmers on. Do they have intermediates ready? I'm surprised no one's out there at the moment just on a medium tyre or a hard tyre, but maybe they just don't want to scrub it. Maybe there's no point in scrubbing a car one. Is that video game absolutely representing the cars on track, or just cars randomly driving? That is cars just randomly driving around, frankly. I don't even know what's going on in that race. Could be anything. Umbrellas are up in the pit lane as well, so it might be spitting rain, but I think from what I've seen on the radar, it's going to get very, very, very heavy. Very heavy. Might wish I could see the actual race. You've got to pay for that. Places you can go in your country if you want to see that. But here we got the watch along. This is the watch along crew. Everyone still sat in the cars, even though we are no longer under red flag conditions. Interesting. So if you're Max Verstappen, you're feeling pretty good. You've just been able to go out and set a 13.6. There is a chance, by the way, if it's going to be dry quali, that... Oh, this guy has got a... There's an FIA delegate who's got a piece of carbon fibre from the Williams. He's just walked it down all the way to the pit lane and given it to the Williams staff. Very embarrassing there for Williams. Is this part of your car? Rod Shepherd loves the sentiment commentary. Very informative and easy to listen to. Top job. Top job, Rob, for the top comments. And in fact, you remind me that we should do a poll. We should do a poll. Who... Oh, hang on, that's not a poll, is it? That's a comment. We're gonna poll it up, everyone. I want to hear your comments. Who will win a wet qualifying at Barcelona? Only 4 options. I'm gonna go with 4 options here. You let me know if you disagree, chat. Stappen. I shouldn't say them out loud. There you go. That is your poll for the day. Might just want a PSVR 2. Very nice. I might need to exchange mine. Where is it? It's here. Can you see it? Ugh. It's there. Anyway, I can promise you it's there. It's not some trick of the light. Cass saying Lando. Hang on. Lando, rain doesn't always go together. Anyone remember Sochi? Anyone remember Sochi? Votes are coming in thick and fast. 44%. Hashtag blessed for Verstappen. Sainz instead of Leclerc. Well, have a look at the leaderboard right now. Sainz and Leclerc went round, and Sainz did a better job, and I believe they were both pushing. Everyone is still in the pit. I think they are basically set up for rain, and they are waiting to go out. That is my suspicion here. But every single car right now is sat in the pits after this red flag. And if you're Max Verstappen, if you're Red Bull, you're probably not too concerned, right? Because you've been around, you've just done 1 lap, set the fastest lap of the weekend, because that 13.6 is the fastest lap of the weekend. Come back in, you know that you're set up nicely for dry weather. It's a bit like a F1 manager. It's like they know their setup is pretty good. Do you know what I mean? That's what you learn in FP that you wouldn't otherwise have the context if you only watch the race, is that Red Bull right now have that car set up nicely for dry conditions. And there are other teams like Mercedes that do not have it set up nicely. And so that's going to put their drivers under more pressure in the race to try and find time, to try and drive around corners where they're worried that the back end is going to come round. Whereas Red Bull just done a great job. It's a great car. It's a dominant car. And frankly, if every race was going to be in dry conditions, Red Bull would just dominate the season, and they are. They've won every race this season, and you can see why. Welcome Attila Nagy to the community. 100 people watching, 30 likes. Chat, I wanted to get to 100 likes today. We didn't get to 100 likes yesterday. We've got 35 minutes to get to that big 100 likes. If you like what we're doing, please, 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 for us, hit that like button. There's not some big company. It's just me and you. We can do it. Everyone's still in the pits, whereas the race... whoa! Just got some shots of standing water on a Tech Pro barrier, and there's a couple of mils in there already. There's a couple of mils. So the rain is going to come down quite heavy. Oh, Felipe Drugovich there for Aston Martin, a man that I've interviewed on the channel. So had a good chat with Felipe in Berlin at Formula E, and we spoke about some interesting stuff. So I'm going to clip that as a standalone, so it was part of a big video, and that will go up on Kireth Motorsport. Yes, something new. Again, no track activity at the moment, everyone, after Logan Sargent's red flag, which brought an end to the dry weather running, and now we are in the rain. We are in wet conditions. The umbrellas are out in force. Catalunya circuit, where you do not have, as you can see in the video on the left there, you do not have a lot of covered grandstands. You have the main grandstand opposite the pits. Then you have, I think, grandstand M, which is where you have the Alonso and Carlos Sainz fan areas. And then that's it. The rest of the grandstands are not covered. Naughty saying there's no better drive on the grid in the wet than Max. I don't know. I'm not sure the statistics back that up. If you have a look at the percentage of wins in the wet, I think Lewis Hamilton is very dominant in wet conditions. Who has been worse, Logan or Oscar? I think Oscar is sort of pulling it back, to be honest. It's hard to say with that McLaren. Obviously, very big team McLaren. Lots of money, lots of big backing from the Bahrainis and others. And to be honest, kind of unacceptable to be that far down, isn't it? Welcome to Satoshi Yoshida. to the chat. I'm going to suspect that you are watching us from Japan, perhaps. Sky going to another break here. So the situation at the moment, if you're just joining us, is that we had some... Everyone was stacked up at the beginning of FP3, impatient to get out. Everyone was out. Pretty much everyone on the soft tyre trying to do a quali lap to check if their setup was good. Everyone sort of got through. Logan Sargent then binned it on the last corner. Quite a bit of damage to his Williams. They red flagged the session. Everyone obviously had to come in. And then we've seen the track start to transfer into a wet track with rain. There's lightning around the track as well. At the moment, it's just sort of spitting it down, really. But there's very, very, very heavy rain in the vicinity. So the question is that heavy rain going to hit? Rod says, I love that Barcelona's got rid of that appalling slow chicane and reverted the fast section to the main straight. Now back to fast racing and more work for the drivers physically. I'm not sure about more work for the drivers. I think the chicane was quite heavy work, especially on the neck as well, going over those curbs. But I think the last corner has been a little bit trickier than maybe the teams anticipated. A lot of the cars bottoming out there. So much downforce being sort of generated by the front and rear wings at that speed. It's really pushing the car down. And as you run on the exit curb, the sawtooth curb, that's where we're seeing the sparks fly. And a lot of cars struggling. That's obviously where Logan Sargent went off as well. See you, Mike Morris, New Zealand. Welcome. Nutty Lewis has been in F1 twice as long. I didn't say wet wins overall. I said percentage. I said percentage. Listen to my words carefully. Very particular about what I say often, unless I'm not. Darian says, does Nando do good for once? We will see. Look, while we're waiting for the for the cars to get out on track, let us know where in the world you are watching from. We're going to do a nations check again. We got 116 people in. Want to do a nations. The arrival of Satoshi Yoshida has frankly piqued my interest, and I want to see. And we're losing Mike Morris as well from New Zealand. So are we losing Australia? Is Australia sort of gone? New Zealand? Are we getting more people from the United States? It is it's midday exactly in the UK. So are we now seeing people start to wake up in the United States? How far west can we go? I would say, to be honest, the wet doesn't really favour Max, because in dry conditions, he would just be dominant. So, but that's just how I see it. That's how I see it. If you're dominant in something, whether you're an F1 driver or a company or just something you're good at, you don't want the conditions to be mixed up. You don't want any variability there. Just let the conditions be where you're dominant. Jeffrey's in the USA. Welcome, Jeffrey from the USA. 3 races in the USA this year, and we've only done 1. There's still 2 to go. Welcome, George. George is delivering those results. How can... Well, hello, Kireth. Love your live streams and chat community. Fellow GB here. It's great to be here. And we're going to try and do the clean sweep this weekend. We're going to try and do quali as well. And the race. And the race. And then maybe some post-race action. And lots of exciting stuff coming up on the channel. So much stuff coming up on the channel at the moment. Super, super, super exciting. Right, Sky returning back to the footage. I'll be able to let you know if anyone is looking like they're going to come out on track. 29 minutes to go. You got the timer there as well. Not saying he'll be dominant either way. Maybe, but there's a less chance he's dominant if the conditions are changing, because there's a high percentage he makes a mistake. And then one of the other 19 drivers doesn't, if that makes sense. It's just a percentage game. Rod Shepherd is a retired Australian living in northeast Thailand. Time here is 6 PM. We are prime time in Thailand. Hello to the Thai fans. Oh, there's a marshal on the on the grass rolling around. Not sure what's going on there. But bit of a weird session right now, I've got to be honest. Bit of a weird session because, you know, the teams are just waiting for the weather to do its thing, frankly. The helicopter's still in the air. We just retired a new sub yesterday for Trento Kanda. Welcome, we just retired. Congratulations on your recent retirement there. But the helicopter's still in the air. There are no cars on the track. I'm very surprised. I tell a lie. Lando Norris is out on track. Lando Norris has decided to go out. Did you see Monaco changing conditions? Germany, Brazil. It's weird you can't admit the crazy rainy... I'm not dismissing it. I'm just saying there's a higher chance Max doesn't win if the weather is all over the place compared to if it's dry. Like, that, I think that's just a fact. Like, percentage-wise, there's a higher chance he does spin off and one of the other drivers doesn't. I'm trying to make my logical point here. You sure that's a marshal? I don't know. Right, the lady in the pit lane, she's put her hood up to signify that it is wet conditions. It's very overcast in the pit lane. Looked like a guy... Okay, I thought it was a marshal, but I'm getting reports that it was a guy dressed up in a orange tiger suit. So it might have been a mix-up there. But yeah, Lando Norris out on track. Wallbucks as well. Lando Norris has come in. I can't see what tyres Lando was on. I think he was on the soft tyres. So McLaren just decided to go out and do something, frankly. 27 minutes to go. Welcome, Hans. We had Super Hans in the chat yesterday. We used to rain here. Kevin should do well for once. So Hans from Denmark supporting Kevin. Zach Brown's decided to come down to Formula 1 this weekend. Gracious with his presence. Very nice, Zach. Just curious as to what his F1 team is doing. Cass saying Inters. Was he out on the intermediate tyres? That's not the information I'm getting. But unfortunately, I don't have a clear shot of Lando's car. No one else deciding to go out. I wonder if we'll see a flurry at the end. There is still big rain clouds in the vicinity, but are they just sort of hanging around? No, he was on the intermediates. Lando did go out on the inters, and he rides the big sausage, a big sausage curb like you'll see in my video. You'll see me go around some big sausage curbs. In fact, this one right here that I'm going to go over, Lando's just ridden one of these, and you'll see in the video on the left-hand side how big these sausage curbs are. And Lando was having a world of trouble in inters there. Definitely not wet enough for inters. Have a look at this sausage curb. Can you see it? This is the curb Lando just went over. Look how big that curb is off the ground. Like, this is not some little curb. That thing is... It's quite hard to see without some shadows, but I can tell you it is absolutely monstrous. You should get a better view in a second. You see a lot of tyre marks on it. You do not really want to be going over those curbs if you care at all about the underside of your car. Is the reality. 25 minutes left in the session, everyone. Yeah, IndyCar in Detroit. Very different circuit, that. Very different conditions. It's big rain on the circuit. Wow, I'm just getting a new camera angle here, and it's big rain. It's big rain. So we might be in conditions where it's not quite wet enough everywhere for inters, but it's too wet for someone in the Marc Marquez umbrella. They're very nice. Marc Marquez has done well. I've seen Marc Marquez win in Catalunya, actually, in MotoGP. I get the feeling there's no tyres on Carlos Sainz's car, by the way. They're in the pits waiting to tell what to do. I'm surprised that there aren't more cars out on inters, just trying to see the conditions and just maybe just get some information, some knowledge, in case this is going to be conditions in qualifying all the race. Because it is raining on track in Catalunya. It's not the biggest circuit. I mean, it's only a 1 minute 12-13 lap time these days, so you can tell it's not a massive circuit, but still big enough for you to have rain in some locations and not the others. Looks absolutely sort of miserable out in the uncovered grandstands, I have to say. You've got people fighting over umbrellas, people having their sandwiches, but let's be real, those people there are kind of there for the quali. Catalunya, you have to buy a 3-day ticket. Where is my ticket? Where's my ticket? I've lost my ticket. I used to have my... My ticket was down here. I don't know where it is. Anyway, my ticket last year was a 3-day ticket. Oh, here's Sergio Perez's dad with the big grin. With the big grin. What's the poll saying, everyone? What's the poll saying? Verstappen 50%. Hamilton 24%, Alonso 21%, and Carlos Sainz 5%. Wow, okay. So Max Verstappen's still odds on. And I would say he's still odds on to dominate in the wet. Just for me, adds another variable that he might not, Red Bull might not particularly want, as they are the dominant car. Looks like the Williams car might be coming back to the garage finally, because some Williams a mechanic sprinting out. Surely that car has come back already, because it's been about 20 minutes, hasn't it? Hamilton over Alonso. That is what the poll is saying, Manos. What's the current forecast for race day? When I had a look at the rain earlier, there's rain in the vicinity, but you just don't know whether it's going to hit the track. It's not a massive sort of like blanket of rain. It's sort of very localized heavy rain. If that makes sense. The helicopter is still in the air, so the weather conditions are still good enough for that. Oh, they've changed some of the grandstands here. They've taken away some of the massive grandstands, and they've now replaced some of them with covered ones. Grandstand L used to be a huge grandstand that went all the way up into the heavens. You walk all the way up to Grandstand L, it was like going, like, you know, get clipped by an airliner. So if you went to the top of it, which I've been, and you stood at the back, and you could just see pretty much the whole circuit, but they've replaced that one with a smaller covered grandstand. But there's a lot of general admission at Barcelona, just people sort of sitting on the grass sides, the verges, who at the moment, a lot of them are taking refuge actually under the trees. That's what we need, GT7 type of weather, so we get an exciting quali. I'm amazed, again, there is no one else out on track, although Carlos Sainz has a weird thing for you on the day. Yeah, Carlos Sainz is out on track, and there's Charles Leclerc is behind him, so we do have Ferraris out on track. Let me look at, they are out on the intermediate tyres. So we have some track action, everyone. It is the Ferraris. The Ferraris are here, out on track, on the intermediate tyres. Here we go. Ferrari going to try something. Give something for the fans to look at. I wouldn't pay too much attention here to the times, but I'll have a look at how the car's driving. To me, it doesn't seem wet enough for intermediate conditions. It's just sort of localized rain on certain parts of the track. But Ferrari are at least going to be getting some data. They will know what it's like if this condition appears in the race. They will obviously have all their information, their telemetry, and be able to make maybe a more informed decision. The Ferraris are out on intermediate tyres, and they are throwing up a little bit of spray in some areas, but I can tell you for free, it's just those intermediate tyre temps are going to go very high. Because there's just not enough moisture consistently around the circuit to sustain the wet tyres here, or the intermediate tyres. Is Carlos going to go around again, or is he going to box? He is going to go around again, and around the last corner, that is where the rain is. So in the last corner, you have rain, you have standing water, but as you go down the straight towards turn 1, I believe turn 1 is pretty much dry. I'm going to have a look here for spray. Difficult to say here, but I think turn 1 to me seems quite a bit drier. I wonder if the rain is sort of clipping off the back of the circuit. How many sets of inters? They have plenty of sets of inters. But I can tell you here. I can tell you. I think they get 4 sets of inters. That's what I think they get over the weekend.
Box this lap. Okay. I'll box this one.
So difficult to say what pace they're going on. Obviously, that was an out lap for Carlos Sainz. He's now theoretically on a flying lap, but he's 8 seconds down so far. having gone through sector 1, sector 2. But you can see as he's gone over the line there. Yeah, Rod's saying very localised rain. Yeah, they can burn a set here. They can burn a set. Other teams might be like, I don't want to burn a set, but Ferrari decided that it's worth burning one to get the information and work out sort of. They might have a better idea of when the cutoff is, because they've done a drive run in this session. Now they're doing a sort of mildly damp run, for lack of better words. Replay here of Charles Leclerc coming into what used to be the hairpin off the infield straight. Let's see what happens. Oh, a little twitch and runs deep. So he turned in, the car didn't have the grip, as you might expect. I suspect that the drivers here are going to be complaining a lot. Oscar Piastri, Esteban Ocon and Kevin Magnussen now following suit, as you can see. Oh, big moments there. Is that Carlos? Big swaz. Whoa, that's the third last corner. Big moment. He managed to save it. That's where Logan Sargent sort of snapped it and went off the track. Not at that corner, but that's the moment he had. So drivers coming out now on the intermediate tyres, getting some more information. That's what's... In fact, the Red Bulls are putting on some tyres, or taking off tyres, because there's Red Bull tyres at the moment on the Red Bull. Those are soft tyres at the moment. Surely they're not going to send a Red Bull out here on soft tyres. That would be insane. That would be very risky before qualifying.
Okay, understood.
Are they going to send Sergio Perez out and just see whether they think these sort of conditions would be better on dry tyres? We will see. Esteban Ocon's on the Inters. He's finishing up a outlap here. Is he doing an installation or is he going to go around for a fast lap? I'll keep you updated. He's going around for a fast lap. Is Esteban Ocon. So you can see here, try and keep an eye on who's looking good. Should we bump this light up, by the way? Bump it up. Whoa, there we go. Is that better? Get the light up. Insane wins races. Insane wins races. That is the mantra. Yes. Maybe they want to see how soft tyres react to the semi-wet track. Yeah, indeed. But I'm just saying, I saw it in the garage. There was a Red Bull with Red Bull tyres on. I don't know whether they're actually going to put them out on that. I don't know whether the track is drying right now, whether it's getting wetter. We definitely haven't seen biblical levels of rain, but we've seen persistent sort of drizzle on the circuit. Might make for an interesting qualifying if it's a relatively green circuit. Could be some more casualties in Q1 than you otherwise might expect. So Russell's on the radio. This is interesting. This is what I've been thinking. Russell's saying it's definitely raining. The track just doesn't seem that wet. It's definitely raining. The track just doesn't seem that wet. It's an interesting one. Maybe the temps are so high that the rain's just sort of evaporating. The rain's burning off the surface. But it's raining. But I think it's localised, and I don't think there's enough here in a race that you'd consider going on the intermediate tyres. So maybe it is a sensible thing. In fact, Verstappen and Perez are out on track. I want to see what tyres are on. The director's not showing us, but Verstappen and Perez are out on track. So you can see here the lap times that people are doing on the wet weather tyres. But I want to see, is anyone out there on a soft tyre? George says that they're listening. Yeah, they might be listening to our stream. George Russell's on the Inters. He's just been complaining, but he's on the intermediate tyres. Is there anyone out there on the soft tyres? From that graphic, it looks like Verstappen and Perez on the Inters. Is there someone going to be brave enough to go out on the soft tyres and we can see whether it's just faster to be on the soft, or is that the stupidest thing you could possibly do just a couple of hours before qualifying? We saw Lewis Hamilton bin it in FP3 in Monaco, and I feel like that compromised his whole weekend, to be honest. He was always playing catch-up then. George Russell, I'm going to see what he's doing going into what used to be the hairpin, braking quite late. Is he going to have a moment? Yes. Whoa, completely soaring at the wheel. It's very difficult in that hairpin. No wonder he's complaining on the radio. He's all over the wheel there, trying to find the grip. It's very difficult, I think, to turn in there and get the back end to grip and then get on the power. Because it's not really a hairpin anymore. It's actually quite a fast, deceptively fast corner, isn't it? Alex Albon's been on the radio saying, yeah, it feels quite dry. Obviously, sending the cars out there will dry up the track as well. Think how much air these cars sort of suck up and it goes over and moves away the rain. Lewis Hamilton's out of the car at the moment. He's out of the car at the moment, no tyres on. He's still got the race suit on. But is that it for Lewis Hamilton in FP3? Is Lewis Hamilton going to be done? We will see. Thanks, Vlack, for keeping the update. If we can hit that 100 likes, that would be insane. But we would need to be absolutely crazy here on the like front, everyone, if we're going to do it. On board now with Verstappen for me. And yes, he is on the intermediate tyres. And I believe this is his flying lap. So remember, he did a 1:13.6 in the dry. And his lap time in this wet conditions is going to be a 1:24. So about a 10-second gap, 10-second difference. More cars are coming out of the pits. Is anyone going to chance it on the dry tyre? What does this mean for qualifying? At this rate, what do you do for qualifying? Because everyone's out right now on the intermediate tyre, but it seems to me that the soft tyre would probably be quicker right now. Is there anyone out there who's saying, I would actually rather do some practice now in FP3 on the soft tyre, just so I'm feeling pretty good for Q1? I don't know. Fernando Alonso's in the car, waiting to see what to do. It's an interesting one. Trying to see, is anyone out there on dry tyres? Anyone on dry tyres? Kevin Magnussen's out on the intermediate tyres. What is the crossover point as well? I think Lewis Hamilton might... No, he's just sitting down at the back of the garage. He's got the headphones in. He's just listening to some music, it seems like. So I'm not sure Lewis Hamilton's going to go out again. Either they're feeling confident or they don't think it's worth the risk, frankly. There's quite a lot of spray at the top part of the circuit. That's the big issue. As a McLaren dives into the pits, no, it's a Haas, sorry. Are they going to change that Haas and put it onto soft tyres? I'm riding on board with it as it comes into the pit lane. It is Kevin Magnussen with the distinctive helmet. What are they going to do with that Haas with 10 minutes to go? He's looking for the box. Looking for the box. We're going to cut away. But yeah, Verstappen going 10 seconds slower on these intermediate tyres. Is anyone doing better than a 124? See, George Russell has just done a 124. Lando Norris saying, how far are we from dry conditions? How far from slicks? McLaren responding, tough to say, but the inters have gone off already. What would be better is to put on a slick on and see how that is. Okay, yes, as predicted. I tell you what, we know what we're talking about here. We actually know what we're talking about on this channel. Don't we? We're predicting everything. We should run our own F1 team, frankly. Okay, so I think with 10 minutes to go, I think we're going to see some drivers go out on soft tyres. Who's going to be the first to brave it? You don't want to... In this situation, you don't want to even lose your car in the gravel. Even if there's no damage, if you lose your car in the gravel, you've got to wait for it to be recovered. You've got to do all your checks. And then you're going to lose out on that time sort of adjusting your setup. Wow, one of the Alphas, Valtteri Bottas, drifting it around what used to be the hairpin there. So it's very wet around that part of the circuit. Oh, he's drifting it all the way. Fastest Finn in F1 at the moment. It's not going to be a very quick lap, I think. Keep an eye on it. It'll probably be about 125 or something. Lando's on the radio again. Again asking for slicks. So Lando wants to go out on the slicks there. But I cannot see anyone right now on dry weather tyres, frankly. What do we think, chat? 192 people watching. Let me know, what would you do right now in these mixed weather conditions where the lap times are 10 seconds slower than the dry? Would you make the call to go on slicks? Do you think it's better right now to be on dry tyres or wet weather tyres? Let us know in the chat. Let us know what you think. Would be interesting to know. Fernando Alonso's out on track on the intermediate tyres. Getting a replay here of Lance Stroll, who runs wide, does go onto the gravel, and somehow may manage to keep that going, but he went very deep. Manuel's saying inters right now. Well, Lance Stroll's gone off on the inters. Has he gone off? He somehow managed to keep that thing going in the gravel trap. They need to box to check the floor. So Lance Stroll's just done exactly what I said he shouldn't do, which is going to the gravel at the end of FP3. And Mike Crack is looking very irritated. So we've got one vote in there. Come on, 200 people watching. We've got one vote for inters. We can do better, chat. This is an interactive stream. Can we ask that question in different... Can anyone ask that in different languages? Can we get that question asked in Spanish? German, maybe? Maybe we've got a very international audience today. It's a possibility. Captain saying softs, Rod, as an ex-radio man, listening to your coverage is far better than watching the TV feed. Yeah, I mean, this is all you need, isn't it? It's all about the strategy. I'm just relaying to you what's happening, then we can discuss what we think is best to do. Who's making mistakes? Who's on top of it? That's Formula 1. Lando Norris on the soft tyre. I'm going to call it as I see it. Lando Norris going for a hot lap on the soft tyre. Can he go faster than a 1:24? Looks pretty good through turn 1, 2 and 3, I have to say. Looking very good through there. Basically bone dry. Coming into turn 4, the right-hander. Braking where he'd usually brake, I think. He's only 1.7 seconds down. That's probably faster than being on the inters. Now he's into turn 5, isn't it? Where Lance Stroll went off. Looks pretty good around turn 5 as well. I'm hoping I'm getting the corners right here. Goes up turn 7 and 8, I think. The squiggly bit before the back straight. And now it's that fast corner before he goes onto the back straight. How's it going to be? And now he's going to go into the wet part of the track. So he's going down the back straight. This is where we've seen drivers struggle with what used to be the hairpin. Lando comes in. He's 4 seconds down. Probably that's still up. Let's see. He's very gentle around there. Very gentle. This is where the intermediates might be better. Going around the third to last corner. Oh, has a big moment. Has to correct it. Now into the penultimate corner. Turns it in. Oh, the back end wants to go into the last corner. And looking pretty good. What's it going to be over the line? Is it going to be faster than the 124? Yes, it is. It is I think a 121. So Lando Norris goes faster on the soft tyres than Max Verstappen went on the intermediates. Lando Norris, I believe right now, is the fastest man on track on the soft tyres. So Lando making the call. And the McLaren mechanics looking very happy there. Their man has made a call. And I believe it's worked. Meanwhile, Pierre Gasly was on the intermediate tyres. And we're having a look at the replay here. So there might have been a moment for Pierre Gasly. Yes, big moment for Pierre Gasly. In fact, Gasly goes into the gravel. And lucky to avoid the barrier there. No worries, Vlatka. No worries. We're trying. We're doing our best here. We're trying. 5 minutes to go, and Carlos Sainz, I believe, is exiting the pit. So I'm going to see what tyres he's on. So Lando Norris there went only 6 seconds slower than this dry time. Carlos Sainz now on the soft tyres. Carlos Sainz, I can confirm, is on the soft tyres. And I suspect Leclerc's going to be on soft tyres as well. So people now coming out on the softs. We've gone past the inflection point. We've gone past the crossover. Lando's saying he doesn't see any problems at the moment. He'll keep checking. Let's see what the Ferraris are going to do here on the soft tyre. Are they going to go sub 1:20 on the softs? Which could be good data. They're driving around and there's other cars on the inters still. As we see the Mercedes admin there making some sort of ludicrous social admin post. Just been revealed on stream by the F1 feed. Right, Carlos Sainz going over for his lap. How's he going to be through Sector 1, I should say? Lando was a 23 sector, wasn't he, about that? What's Carlos going to be? Sector 1, going to go over the timing line. It's going to be a 24 dead for Carlos Sainz. So he is 2 seconds, I believe, slower than Verstappen in Sector 1. but Verstappen was on in very much dry conditions. So pretty much confirming that a soft tyre is the tyre to be on right now, but you have to drive it carefully. Carlos is going onto the corner, onto the fan of the day. Love it. Onto the back straight. How's he going to do into the fast sweeping quasi hairpin thing? Is he going to go faster than Lando Norris? Oh, the ex-teammates at McLaren. Kind of weird to think that Carlos used to be at McLaren. Carlos driven for Renault, Toro Rosso, McLaren and Ferrari. Just needs to drive for Alpine. And he's basically done a clean sweep, hasn't he? And Mercedes. Noticing Lando's not a good... Yeah, don't trust Lando with the track conditions there. The man who didn't box. Carlos goes at 1 minute 20, by the way. 1 minute 20 dead for Carlos Sainz. So Carlos looking pretty good out there. Only 2 minutes to go, everyone. Only 2 minutes to go. By the way, we're streaming qualifying. So there will be a link in the chat to qualifying. Or go check out my channel. If you don't want to miss these streams, now's your chance. Make sure you hit that subscribe button. Otherwise, you might miss it. And the more people that we have subscribed, the more chance there is of these streams actually staying up. So please, 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 if you are enjoying it, hit that subscribe button. Fernando Alonso is on the soft tyres, and I think he might go faster on the soft. I'm having a look. Yeah, 1 minute 19.3 from Fernando. So Fernando's looking very good on the soft tyres here. So I think as we go to qualifying, we are going to return to dry conditions unless there's going to be any more rain. So the rain did come down. It did probably put it in intermediate conditions very briefly, but then it came down to soft. So that might have an indicator, if it does rain in qualifying or the race, that the track is going to be quite quick to return to soft or dry conditions. It's been a confusing one for the teams, hasn't it? If we recap, we're going to get a replay here of Nick De Vries going into turn 1. What's going to happen? Is it going to be a lockup? Oh, has to avoid a Aston Martin coming out of the pits. Maybe that was Lance Stroll. Don't know if Stroll's on track. Either Stroll, yeah, it might have been Lance Stroll there, just coming out of the pits straight in the way of Nick De Vries. He was properly attacking turn 1. Not what we want to see. And Lewis Hamilton's got back in the car. Lewis Hamilton's out on track. We'll keep an eye on what Lewis Hamilton's going to do here. Doesn't look super quick so far. So the drivers are going to try and get their very last laps in. And we'll see, can anyone get... Is that Fernando Alonso doing a 1 minute 17, by the way? And Carlos Sainz 1 minute 16. So these lap times are very much returning now to pure dry weather pace. 1 minute 16, I believe I'm seeing there for Carlos Sainz. Thanks, Rod. Appreciate it. Please feel free to share the streams around. We're going to be back for quali. We're going to be back for the race. We'll be back for quali in, I think, about 2 hours' time. 2 hours' time, we'll be back at quali, I believe, at 2:30. Will be your qualifying build-up, and then we will see what is going to go on at quali, and then obviously the race. Fastest man on track, yes. Lewis Hamilton's going to go around here. And he's being tailed by a Red Bull. He's being tailed by a Red Bull. Unfortunately, the checker flag comes out because it would have been great to see. I think Sergio Perez was absolutely hounding Lewis Hamilton there. It was going to get a little bit spicy. Little bit spicy it was going to get. My word. My word. Right, tail of FP3. Let's run down the classification. Verstappen, Perez, Hamilton. But that was a lap time from earlier, wasn't it? Sainz, Alonso, Russell, Leclerc, Bottas, Tsunoda, Norris, Guan Yu Zhou, De Vries, Stroll, Hulkenberg. The man who went, I think, P2 or something, P3 in FP2 is well done there in FP3. Piastri, Ocon, Magnussen, Gasly, Alex Albon and Logan Sargent, who was our only person to be in the barrier in all of the free practice sessions so far. That is free practice done, everyone. That is free practice. Science saying Crash Inc. But that is free practice done. So, winners and losers from that, I think Max Verstappen looking absolutely supreme. Sergio Perez not too far behind as well. Is it going to be a battle between the Red Bulls for pole position? Remember, Charles Leclerc was the driver who got pole position here last year, and the Ferraris did look strong, but I think they messed up the strategy, and I think the tyre wear was pretty horrendous. If we're going to have such high humidity, I would expect with that cloud cover that the temperatures, the track temperatures, are not quite going to be as high. Welcome Grant, welcome Black Duck to the community. Lewis Hamilton, with his fast lap session, only 4/10 off Verstappen. I wonder if Hamilton is going to be feeling confident here as well. He was looking very, very, very relaxed, and now we're going to see the drivers do their practice starts, by the way. So it's practice start procedure. There goes Lance Stroll. Now it is going to be Lewis Hamilton. They're doing this on the start finish straight. Just trying to see if anyone's looking particularly good or particularly not good on the practice starts. There goes Hamilton. Getting that clutch biting point. Dropping it. And then trying to get a maximum traction with no wheel spin. The perfect start does exist. On board again with Nick De Vries, who had a very eventful lap. He was on the radio. Oh, man. And he was stuck behind a Ferrari who was not getting out of the way. And AlphaTauri saying they've reported that twice. That could be potentially a penalty. No, where's Vatka? Potentially a penalty there for a Ferrari driver. Guan Yu Zhou also on the radio. I think unhappy about something. But it looked like some blocking there of a Ferrari driver on Nick De Vries. He really was in the wars on that lap, wasn't he? Really was in the wars. Crazy, crazy, crazy stuff. Welcome, Daniel Gould. Thanks for joining. And we just retired. The recently retired, we just retired. Someone just ignoring the grid start and just blast past. That was an Alpine. It was like, screw these. Everyone else is lined up on the grid and he just goes straight past. Now going to see one of the Alpines doing that grid start. There he goes. And an AlphaTauri there as well. Charles Leclerc on the onboard. I wonder if he was a driver that has been accused of doing the blocking. Potentially. I don't think it should be worthy of any sort of penalty. It's only FP3. But if that was to happen in qualifying, I think you would see a penalty for that. So maybe some sort of... Oh, Charles Leclerc with a big issue off the grid, actually. Looked like he stalled it doing his grid start. Looked like he initially, if I'm looking at that correctly, looks like Charles Leclerc initially stalled it doing his practice start. Which is interesting. Now, the helicopter's well up in the sky, and you can't really see the track because there is so much cloud. We didn't get that heavy rain all over the track. Are we going to see some more rain before qualifying? I'm not sure. I'm not sure. I think we're going to have a dry line of qualifying. I think it's going to be a dry qualifying session. I have to say, I didn't see anything else on the radar that would indicate otherwise. Max Verstappen came out, set the 1 minute 13.6. He knows what to do. Are we going to go in the 1 minute 12s in qualifying? Or, I don't know. I don't know. 1 minute 12s for quali? How low are we going to go? It's interesting. I have no idea, actually. I have no idea. And Logan Sargent bringing up the rear. Esteban Ocon actually not setting a time on the softs. And same for Pierre Gasly. So the Alpines not interested about showing any soft performance. Interesting. They have probably saved a pair of softs. Maybe they're quite confident about going into Q3 and they might have an extra pair of softs. Charles Leclerc's on the radio again. They have now brought that car into the garage. Maybe they were concerned about that. Commentating a video game. Yes, exactly. That's what we're doing. I wonder if teams would have used more soft tyres than they might have wanted. And maybe that's some 4D chess from Alpine. Alpine might have that extra set of soft tyres. Could make all the difference in quali and or the race. Although I'd be very surprised if the soft tyre is a race tyre, to be honest. I just don't see how you could use that soft tyre in the race unless you're doing a 2 or... surely they're not going to be doing 3 stoppers. I think last year, I think people might have done 3 stoppers, but the temperatures were absolutely insane. Absolutely insane. There we go. We got the standings on the left there, everyone. We got the standings on the left. And trying to pick out anyone else that might have surprised, but it's very hard to say because it was a very weird session. Only really that one lap that we got from most drivers on the soft tyres, to be honest. Ocon showing off his trophy from Monaco. Now, what's happening in the poll? Who will win a wet qualifying? Interesting to see that Lewis Hamilton is in 2nd place there. Lewis Hamilton in 2nd place. People fancying Lewis Hamilton. Why do we have a hashtag Monaco? Oh, I don't know. I've messed that one up, haven't I? I've messed it up if we've got hashtag Monaco. We're going to have people looking for Monaco GP 2023. And they're going to be getting this. Speaking with Günther Steiner now, a man that I spoke with at Monaco last year. Very interesting character. Bit of a loose cannon. Maybe some screws missing. I don't know. He's an interesting character, is old Günther, when you speak with him. I would say he's not PR trained, which is quite refreshing, isn't it? So, I think what we're going to do, everyone, is we are going to wrap up the stream here. We could continue it, but I think we'll wrap it up. I'm going to make some videos of the regular content on this channel. And I'm going to put in the chat, by the way, the live stream that we are doing later. So if you don't mind, everyone, I would greatly appreciate it if you could pop over here and just smash that like button. Just smash that like button on this one here. Would be greatly appreciated. I'll try and pin it even. I'm going to end the stream. It should take us automatically there. That's where we're going to be at 2:30. We're going to be there at 2:30 p.m. for qualifying. You don't want to miss it. We've got the best community. We've got the best stream. We'll get everything you need to follow qualifying on this Saturday at Barcelona, the Spanish GP. Going to end this stream, and I will see you all. I'll see you there at